needs a zero.
We make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkalytic.
The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be. Anything.
Hey, happy Saturday. I am Carolyn, and you are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. Thank you all so much for being here. Come on in, come on in. We are live. We are live on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube, and we are on Instagram. So please go ahead, come on in, share the live as you come in. You can come on, drop a comment, say hi to us so we all can say hi back. Thank you again so much for joining us. If you have not, please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is Dr. Farid Zarif. We have some great topics. Let's talk about them. We are going to talk about, can we reverse aging at a cellular level? Memory and mental health, because we know that's always something that's important to us. Quality deep sleep, something I can use right about now. And last but not least, the critical role of nurturing environments. Also, some really great topics, some things that we just absolutely need to talk about. So let's get it on the way. Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here on stage so we can get it started. Grand rising to you.
Grand Rising, Karen. Thank you very much, and welcome everyone to Mind of Nature. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist, and I'll be talking to you about some of the things that you may have already heard us go into a little earlier or some previous presentations. However, we need to repeat these things in order for us to make these things a part of our daily experience on the planet. We need to take care of ourselves. And this is why we do this. We come to you every week so that we can give you more, let's say, choices to help you make informed decisions. So today in our discussion, and I want it to be a discussion, that means that we want you to write into the field, the comment field, exactly what you have on your mind, or close to it, or give us a clue so that we'll have a conversation. Okay. And that's super important. Time goes by really fast, as you will see, and we need to continue to keep going, So you're on the train right now. Let's say that you're on maybe more like the G6, and we're looking for the G7. Whichever is the best. Talking about jets for most people, they're like, what? You know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So what I'm going to start off with is to remind everyone that today there won't be any class held at Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church because of other things. We're moving, we're working, we're making things happen. And so is Mount Tabor and all the beautiful people there. And we really, again, we always thank them for the opportunity to work in the community with our loved ones to help them improve their health and their fitness. Now, one of the things that I wanted to also do is to say that if you have any club or church, or you may have an event where you want to have more said or presented to you about nutrition to get your group going, your organization going, give us a call or contact me or care at the drzarif.com. That's DRZARIF.com. And we want to get out here into it. Look, I'm going to say this before we get into our discussion. You can't wait until too late. And that's the biggest problem people do. They wait until is after the fact. If you don't get an examination, how else are you going to know that you need to get examined? You have to take action. Be proactive. Don't wait until you feel pain. Don't wait until you have no other alternatives other than an operation. Don't wait until you're all out of medicine to get more. It is about you being proactive. Man, I'll be saying this, I'm sure, for the rest of my life because some people will get comfortable and they don't feel that they need to take that kind of action. I take care of myself. Man, I've been doing this for 40 years, man. Ain't that, that stuff makes my stomach flip because people really think that they're equivalent or equal to the apparatus in the hospitals. Now, there are things that we can take care of on our own. I'm all with you when you're talking about herbs. I'm all with you when you're talking about fresh fruit and vegetables. I'm all with you when you're talking about, you do a certain type of exercise that works for you and you like yoga versus maybe CrossFit training. But let me tell you that the allopathic or Western medicine does have a place. And I understand also about those of you that may be holding a grudge against those doctors or how the system used to be, especially toward Black people at that time, where experimentation, human experimentation, was definitely very prevalent. And we have to say that that was in the past. We learned from it, but stop carrying it around like it's happening right to you right now. Now, being aware of it is really important too, but being paranoid is a whole different thing. Like, I'm not talking to those doggone doctors. Oh, no, they ain't touching me. No. Look, you would be surprised. It's almost like those people that say that I'm not eating meat and then they don't realize that they're getting their veggie burgers off the same grill that's frying hamburgers, and but they feel like they're not eating meat. There's a lot of senseless things that we do, and through the mind of nature, we want you to grow up with us. Thank you for that time.
Absolutely. That was a word.
Yes, definitely. I had to, it's that kind of thing that you have to say, Carolyn, because it's a thing that people take for granted. One thing about uh, I think finding a cure or having an alternative where you don't have to or don't feel like you have to worry about it. Like for instance, if you have like STDs or SDIs, which is sexually these trans STIs are the sexually transmitted diseases, and STDs, of course, they don't use as much today, and they meaning the medical uh, um, society or those people in these certain genres, but in Western medicine is not used that much. But it still comes down to being infected by a sexual transaction, and that is we want to definitely be aware of that. But the point I was making was that some people become even more ruthless. If they don't protect themselves, they're just ruthless, and they're just they don't take into account that they could be infecting their sex partner. So all of these things are important, but when we say there is an answer or there is a cure, there's something that you don't have to worry about. Like now, with HIV, there are different tests now or things that you can take that you won't show the react not the reaction, but it won't result in them seeing that test will not show that they have
Reading.
uh, HIV.
Hmm.
That's horrible. You might say, "What?" No, the very first thing that most people say in those situations is, "Oh no, man, shit, I ain't got to put on that rubber now." And it's like, what? Wait a minute, you still have it. It's not just showing up. So That's what happens with cure and sometimes with help. What happens is a person becomes lazy and they don't work as hard. Now I got somebody, maybe they're in a relationship where they're putting everything on that woman, or the woman is putting everything on that man, or the family is putting everything on. It's lopsided. It's really so respectful when we look at things and say, "Good, I got that to help me do what I've always been doing, and that's taking care of myself." So that was worth definitely talking about. So let's go over here, Kara, and we're going to start off with there's something I wanted to. But before I go on, I want to, Kara, did you have any questions?
Well, just wanted to shout out those that are here. Hello, hello. I would just want to say good morning to Denise Kane. Great to
Yay.
be here. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And anyone else that's coming in, just thank you for being here and share the live. Please make sure to share the live. Have others be a part of the conversation. I'm ready to hear what you got to say, Dr. Zarif. It's always great information, so let's get it.
That's good. All right. Well, first I want to talk about aging. And today, overall, what we'll be talking about are the secrets to enhance longevity. Now, it's not just about you living a long time, it's about you living, period, living right in the now. Cellular aging is one of the things that people don't talk about a lot, but we're talking about healing and actually aging at a cellular level. Now, the cellular level, otherwise referred to as cell senescence, and the cell senescence occurs when cells remain in a constant and a terminal state of growth arrest, the growth arrest that prevents their proliferation despite the optimal growth conditions. Now, understanding cellular aging, existing research even today suggests that cellular aging protects tissues against damage and tumorigenesis, which extends the viability of these cells through several possible biological mechanisms. Now, one possible stressor that may include cell senescence is nuclear DNA, and nuclear DNA damage, I should say, primarily in the form of DNA double strand breaks. Those of you that aren't in science won't understand this right off, but it is the persistence of DNA damage that can actually lead to prolonged DDR signaling. Now, DDR signaling, we'll get into those pathways and all that at a later time, but I don't want to. I don't want you to miss the point by being blacked out by big words. But to get down to the point, you have to, or we have to protect our DNA. As you age, like for instance, the ends of your chromosomes become shorter, and this makes you more likely to get sick. Now, the lifestyle changes can boost an enzyme that makes them longer. So you can actually have lifestyle changes that can actually boost an enzyme that makes them longer, and then thereby um, this when we get to age, we can change the whole aging frequency process. That is, those people that just eat foods that they have no idea what kind of power or energy, you'll hear say energy a lot, to keep this person healthy. But the bottom line is that healthy habits may just slow down the aging at the cellular level. And just keep in mind, when you're talking about cellular, you're talking about microscopic. And so that means that it's really at a very, very, very tiny size. So it's not macro. It's not something you can see just like proteins and maybe fats and other nutrients. So just keep that in mind. I wanted to talk to you about, and you've probably heard about telomeres. Now, telomeres are present at the end of the chromosomal DNA and protect this genetic material from the nucleolytic um, degradation and unnecessarily recombination. Um, However, in the absence of these protective mechanisms, telomeres shorten with each subsequent round of DNA replication. A telomere shortening the ends to the loss of the telomere capping factors and other protective structures, which induces the DDR that closely resembles this response to the DNA DSBs. I know some of that, if you're not into science, it can be, whoa, okay, you lost me there. Don't worry about it. We'll come back around. I want to just stay real as simple as possible. And sometimes it's not that easy. But let's go back to health and health and fitness. I want to really talk about the difference, the aspects, or how health represents the different aspects of well-being. First, we'll start off like with health. Health refers to the overall state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and it encompasses the absence of disease and the ability to lead a fulfilling life. That's what health is. Health is not doing 10 push-ups or look how long I can stay in this position, look, I can wrap my leg around my neck. All of that is something that most people are just born with, or those people that train their bodies to do. And that can be something that has nothing to do with health. It's very similar in that we use it we interchangeably, but it is something that is definitely different. So health actually refers again to overall state of physical health, mental health, and social well-being. Now, when we get down to fitness, this is when people say, "Oh man, I'm strong. Look how old I am," or "This how young I am," or "This how big I am," and all that. Well, they have a good point, because some people look absolutely beautiful when they take care of themselves. There's people in our community that looks absolutely gorgeous, and they don't really even exercise. They just look great. They were born with those. Uh, that they was born with that gift. So fitness is especially relates to physical capabilities. No, I should say physical abilities, because it's enabling yourself to do certain things, including your strength, your endurance, flexibility, and your body composition. That's why you see a lot of people, for instance, they may be great basketball players, NBA, they're pros, but when they don't take care of themselves as far as their health is concerned, and that is what they're ingesting, getting enough sleep, not smoking and drinking alcohol, overdoing it with the alcoholic beverages, they can fall apart because they are doing things that counter good health. It often results into regular physical activity and exercise. And that's why you'll see people put up the guns. Ooh, look at the guns. And or you play a pickup game, and a pickup game of basketball sometimes can feel like, dang, is this guy mad at me? Because a lot of people substitute violence or strength for talent. Now, when it comes to physical activity, you engage in regular activity or regular exercises. I say regular activity because you don't have to do what is just basically called exercise. You can actually move your body. Whenever you're moving your body, you're using calories. And that was one thing that I didn't hear during the whole calorie trend when everybody was calories this, calorie that. And think about it. Go back and think about it. Some where people were just talking about how many calories, and then that is this has no calories. These are empty calories, or this has over 200 calories. When you are talking about calories, think about units of heat and energy. So when you do eat the different foods, that you're getting the kind of food that really makes a big difference to your lifestyle. It feeds the opportunity for you to be physically active without running out of gas, so to speak. So when we get down to health, again, let's say like the attributes of physical well-being. uh, if you talk about physical well-being, when it comes to fitness, that this physical well-being emphasizes the physical strength, the endurance, and flexibility. And remember that the health is the overall state of mental and social well-being. But let's say if the attribute is cardiovascular health, then this cardiovascular health, if we look under fitness, when it comes to cardiovascular health, it improves heart and lung function through aerobic exercising. And aerobic exercising are those exercises that raise your heartbeat, meaning that it beats faster. And if it's strong, what we're looking for is more blood per stroke. And also endurance, instead of wearing out or getting very tired very rapidly, or not being able to play through maybe a game of pickup basketball that usually goes to, some people go anywhere from 8 to 13 and higher. And sometimes when you're not in good shape, then you don't last that long. If we're talking about health, and the attribute is cardiovascular, then it refers to the health of your heart and your blood vessels. Okay, and that's when we're specifically talking about cardiovascular health. Now, when it comes to muscle strength, when fitness wise is focusing on building and maintaining strong muscles. As a matter of fact, men are, when we look at the reasons or the objective for a man to work out, is usually to reduce the intimidation that he feels from another man working out. But when we look at the results, if we ask a woman or we take a study on women, why do you work out? They'll let you know because they want to be healthier. So there's a whole different mindset there. Men just don't work out to be healthy. That is definitely a benefit. But there, when it comes to our ego and our machismo, it is a kind of a ego type clash there. Now back to the energy. If we talk about energy levels, and we start with health, we're talking about or fitness. We're talking about improving the stamina, energy, and the levels through exercise. Now, if we're talking about health, we're talking about that our energy refers to health wise, refers to the capacity for to actually perform and physical and mental activities. Okay, so there you have it. We're going to go to any questions now and see if we can answer any your remarks there. Let's go back to Care.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. Just shouting out those that have joined us here today. Mylia says, Royal Rising from
Hey,
Vegas. Hi, Z and Carolyn. Hello, hello to you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank you so much. We have Elisa here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us here. Really appreciate everyone that's here, dropping comments, saying hello. We love to say hello back. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat as well so we can get your questions answered. So, Dr. Zarif, you mentioned calorie trends.
Yeah.
And whenever there's a trend that comes up, the first thing I think of is people profiting. So really, it probably doesn't matter if they are given the information, like the in-depth information as far as what you mentioned about calories. They just know that, hey, this is a trend, whatever it is, whatever product I may have at this time that ties in with this trend, I'm going to push that product, right? So
Yes.
I think a lot of times that's mainly what it's about when there is a trend that's going on.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. Food and these trends are just like any other trends. Just like a clothing. It used to be bell bottoms used to be the latest thing out, and then turtlenecks, or whatever's the latest thing. And that's how we've been a long time. Excuse me. But when it really comes to these trends, people like to hop on board because just like we had CMOS, Dr. Sabi was actually the he actually pushed that. He propagated that by when he dropped to his knees at a presentation, and then he said, "You hear that? You see that? That's CMOS." And
Right.
that was a real powerful the like he really supported that, and he gave the how many these are the minerals that you find, and these are the nutrients that are in sea moss, and people went wild. I got something new, dun 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 dun. And this time it wasn't just in the black community, even the white communities adopted this. They took it on and sold it in their products. You will see it in their stores, like things like this was, I'm talking about in Sprouts, I'm talking about in Whole Foods,
Mhm.
I'm talking about on Amazon, I'm talking about all the different types of websites that were selling sea moss, this sea moss, that sea moss. It was incredible.
It was great marketing, right? It was great marketing.
Incredible. And
Uh-huh.
because people were, the other thing is they had great testimonials. Oh, I love my sea moss. This is quality sea moss. I got this from the Red Sea, and I got mine from the shores of the Atlantic Express, whatever.
Mhm.
They had some kind of sacred place that they got theirs from, and the different types of sea moss. And just like anything else, these trends pass through us. A lot of people, they find out they were having people that were getting seaweed with out of the contaminated sea,
Mhm.
and other areas like where people swim and so forth, and they were doing it the cheap way. There's like, oh, seaweed, I'm going to let this dry out, and I'm gonna put this in my coffee, or I'm gonna make a smoothie with it, and on and on. Well, we're used to doing that, and I'm used to hearing it and seeing it. It's nothing new. Whenever something comes out, before that, it was what it was a black seed.
Seed oil.
Yeah, black seed oil was like used for everything. It's like a very broad spectrum product, and people were using. I put it in my hair. I put it on my face, under my arms, and then every it makes it fun, but it's still what happens is, are we really getting any wiser?
Yes, and the thing about it is it's not necessarily that the product that they're talking about is a bad product. It can be a product that's been known for years, but it dies down or it's not talked about. And so when someone finds out about this great product that's been known for, like I said, years, they bring it up, and now the marketing again, that's where it comes down to the marketing, like what's hot, because you would hear about acai berry all the time. You'll hear about soursop all the time. I've been having soursop since I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
But it's something that, hey, this is hot, or let's bring this up now, and now you market it, and now that's the hot thing at that time.
Yeah, because that's one of the objectives of those people that are marketing, is to make you feel like you got to have it. And if you don't have it, you ain't having it.
Right.
And so just like you said, acai. they really went crazy with acai berry. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they when you study acai, you find that it starts to lose nutrients just in within seconds of it being picked. So when they actually take the acai berries, they have to do what is called a they'll do a quick freeze. So they get it and they'll freeze it so that it'll keep this level of pharmaceutical quality.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when you actually go to Brazil or you go to an island where they're selling acai drinks, they're not rushing around or anything like that. It's like vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream on a cone or something. It's a treat.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, you know, even to take it a little higher, people, especially nutritionists, you have people that are not, or they are enthusiastic people, people that really, they, when they think about nutrition, they think about what they're doing and what works for them. And they kind of like, you know, if this works for me like this, it can work for you too. And I'm telling you what happened. But sometimes there's that is that the biological individuality or biochemical individuality where what works in your body for your lab doesn't work in that another person's body and in their lab. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
it can be really really different when we come down to that. So
I do have a question before we go to the next topic. I know but here from Elisa, the question is, what's a good fitness routine for a beginner?
a good fitness routine is movement. That's a good fitness routine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, as long as you're moving. In other words, if you really want to go basic about it, if you have a pet, you walk your dog. You have little children in the family, you play with the children. If you're going shopping, go into a place where you can walk around. Like people that, for instance, they go to shop at Costco. You notice they don't people don't wear hard shoes because it's like walking around an amusement park is huge and hard floors and the concrete floors that they walk through. Now, if you are beyond that, meaning that those things you don't fit those categories, the other thing that you can do is that you can get join a club like some of the fitness clubs, or you can work out on your own. Look, I'm telling you, University YTube is really, really good, and meaning that you can learn a lot from the, you know, YouTube University, as a lot of people call it. And there are people that are doing all types of exercises to meet you where you are
Mm-hmm.
with chairs. They're doing things against the wall. Some people are more flexible than others, so they're doing some type of yoga, kundalini, or they're doing some kind of what's that hot yoga, or all kinds of things that they're doing, but move. It requires you to burn energy, and that energy is what? Calories. So when people are, you know, getting larger and larger, you can find it out easily, find out why they're getting larger and larger, and it leads you right to not working out. And not working out meaning moving your body. So movement is the answer to that question.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that question, Elisa. If I'm saying your name correct, please like put a enunciation key. I'm saying Elisa. Is it Elisa? Elisa? I'm not sure. So please let me know. All right. Back to you, Dr. Zarif.
Okay, well, let's get with it. I'm going to go right on. I'm talking a little bit about mental health. And when we talk about mental health, this is something that is, whew, I mean, it's prevalent in our society today because we have so many people, unfortunately, that are definitely suffering with it. They're suffering with it. Some of the things that you can do as far as mental health is concerned is you can practice stress management techniques such as mindfulness. Mindfulness is helping people all over the world. It's beautiful. It really helps you to slow your body down and really get the full meaning of parasympathetic nervous system, of rest and digest. Um, also, meditation is very important, and yoga has been for years a leading type of exercise that many people do, all ages, and they can maintain yoga for years and do it all the way throughout life. Also, maintain a strong social connection and engage in community activities is what we talk about very much when we talk about environment, making sure like those things in your community. And if you don't, you're doing things in the community, and if you don't have strong social connections, start with where you are. You can start by, some people don't want to be around other people because they're like, they're not used to it, they're uncomfortable with it, and they have those kind of reasons. But you don't need a whole gang of people. You can have one person. It can be grandma, and you and grandma have a great talk periodically, and you spend time and learn from her tutelage, and you grow from her presence. So it is important that you do have an exchange with someone. Don't do it or attempt to do it by yourself. Remember, we're here to help each other. We came into the world with people, and we'll leave the world with people. Now, some people actually say, I came in here by myself and I'm going to leave by myself. Those are some ego problems. I want you to look at it a little differently. All the things that you think that you're doing by yourself and you don't need any help from anybody doing it, you got another thing coming, because everything that another thought coming, because everything that we do requires help from other people. Okay, so let's make sense out of that. Okay. Another thing, let's go back to stay within mental health, is the regular health checkups. That's something that you should be doing because I talked about this at the beginning of our presentation today, and that is that we are not getting our regular checkups. And our regular checkups will let us know if we have any problems like with sadness or misery or melancholy or discouragement, depression. All of those things are very, very important, and you should take time to get a regular checkup. Don't wait until you're in pain to get one. Get one while you're feeling good, and this way you'll know what to do to maintain what you're doing. Because if you're feeling great, especially over time, you also will find that all you have to do is repeat what's allowing you to feel so great. Now, you can also schedule routine medical checkups and screening to catch potential health issues early, like in the free clinics that are throughout some cities. Find out other clinics that will even help you get registered with some of the different types of medical plans that are available for you, health plans, and just be about finding out how you can actually approach or how you can treat certain ways of living when it comes to taking care of yourself. And mental health is one of those things that um, you can actually use some foods. We said the meditation, we said yoga, but there are also some foods that you can use. And one is like, I don't know if you've heard of this before, but it's a simple 5-second coffee tweak. And it's designed to support sharper memory and clear thinking so that you can feel more focused and throughout your day. You can remember things, reflect on things. It makes it easier for you. And this is a little known method, but is developed by a team of leading brain health researchers, and it involves adding a teaspoon of a common kitchen ingredient in the morning. It's called coffee. Many people do drink coffee, and it's designed to support your memory. So just a little bit of coffee, and not a big, cup of coffee, but let's say like maybe a third of a cup of coffee, and this will give you enough to help support your memory, your mental clarity, and your steady energy without the usual afternoon crashes. And that's one of the things that people will have after they eat at 12 noon. They're usually, if they're working, they're going out to eat something. I would advise you to eat your largest meal in the middle of the day, and it works better than all that other stuff that you've been doing. I got receipts. You probably say, I got receipts too, but I bet you your receipts more reflects the outcome or the results that you get. But when we're talking about on the scale, a global scale, I'm talking about this works for most of the Earth's population. Unlike temporary fixes that only offer a temporary boost. Now, this morning coffee ritual, it also supports your brain's natural memory and focus, helping you to stay sharp and to feel energized all day while enjoying a daily, you know, we'll call it a cup of coffee, but again, remember you don't have to drink a whole cup of coffee. And if staying organized or keeping track of details feels harder than it used to, this could be a simple, natural step that you've been looking for. So you take on the challenge of taking that coffee and that little bit of caffeine. You will find out is more helpful than some of the things that we've been hearing. And unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation, but coffee works. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about the nourishing of a real good breakfast. Waking up with that foggy mind or feeling drained even after a full night's rest, when you get up and you're stretching and you're feeling, a lot of times it's time for another mattress, that's good, but you want to have that sturdy mattress that you feel good on, um, and one that lasts, and one that has a good guarantee. Some have a lifetime guarantee, and others have 25-year, but nevertheless, they have guarantees. So make sure you check out your guarantee. Now, after you wake up from that night's sleep, you can make mornings that feeling exactly like, being stiff and not able to move. You can't touch your toes. And most people don't stretch. They don't even put their arms up in the air. Well, you see, they're still living, and nothing crazy happens to them. But what they do is they increase the risk of injury. You see? So when you're not taking care of yourself, you can increase the risk of injury, and that can happen from the different types of habits that you have all the way from a very young age. When it comes to the breakfast, I have to say I prefer fresh, uncooked, fresh fruit, and just a cool glass of water. That's for the morning. A lot of times people are eating, bacon and eggs and Danish and, you know, all of that stuff in the morning. Just imagine having a peaceful night's rest, or even if it's not peaceful and you're getting up and you're putting that into your body. Those foods are for the middle of the day, and they're periodic, not for a daily consumption. Okay, so keep that in mind, because nourishing breakfast helps to support, again, clearer thinking, and steady energy. That's throughout the day, not having that you falling apart. Other things that you can also use as far as foods that are great for memory and great for brain health are avocados. While avocados are often they often get a bad rap because of their high fat content. It's like, no, they're 100% fat. Well, it's important to note that these green powerhouses are actually packed with monounsaturated fats. And that's the good kind, by the way, monounsaturated fats, which have been shown to lower rates of cognitive decline. So this is you really want to make sure that you are eating foods that can actually reduce or lower the rates of cognitive decline. Uh, another good vitamin that's really good is vitamin K. Now, containing both vitamin K and folate. Folate is also vitamin B9, or you'll get it in the B vitamin, the one that says B50 or B100. This is really, really great helps to prevent blood clots in the brain and protecting against stroke. And this is super important because especially those people that have any kind of hypercoagulative problems like your blood forming clots and blood clots in the brain, you want to protect yourself against strokes as well as to help to improve your brain functions related to memory and concentration. Another good food besides the avocado are beets, and beets are root vegetables and some of the most nutritious foods for the brain that you can eat. The natural nitrates in the beets actually boost blood flow to to your brain and helping them with the mental performance. So I know that if I just said natural nitrates, you're probably saying, what nitrates are? I thought that was some kind of chemical that give you cancer. This is why it's good that you're here this morning because there's so many things that we've gotten through misinformation, and that's one of them. Nitrates are formed in beets and other root vegetables. Plus, during tough workouts, the beets are actually, they help to boost the energy and performance levels while protecting your brain against aging. And all of this is, again, with receipts according to research. So we want you to keep that in mind because some people just say, because I said it, and that's not the case here. Another berry, like such as blueberries, there's a lot of raspberries, there's red berries, there's blackberries, and providing that great things do come in these little small packages, blueberries and other berries like strawberries, blackberries, raspberries are fruit that experts are actually recommend consuming on a daily basis. That's because there's tremendous nutrients that are simply called brain foods. For starters, the blueberries are one of the highest antioxidant rich foods known to man. Now, when you hear antioxidant, you want to know that that's the protection of cells. And this allows you to protect against damage, like in free radicals that we've been talking about. So these foods known some of the nutrients, including vitamin C and vitamin K and fiber. You got to remember fiber because some folks think if you eat all this meat that you're going to be real big and strong. And that is definitely disinformation that has been passed down generations. Because of their high level of gallic acid, Blueberries are especially good at protecting our brains from degeneration. That's the hardening and breaking down and aging of your brain. So keep in mind that the gallic acid that is in the blueberries are especially good for protecting the brain against degeneration, cognitive decline, and stress. So keep that in mind when you, especially when you, I need to relax. If you're all jittery all day and you're all hyped up all day, remember balance. Meanwhile, the berries in general have been shown to protect against the neurodegenerative diseases, with certain studies revealing eating berries actually enhancing signaling in the brain. So the neuronal or our neurological um, systems are all at work, and they work together with berries because of the nutrients that they come with. And the antioxidants, again, protecting against damage to the cells, include vitamin C and vitamin K. Keep this in mind. Vitamin K, you only hear about it when it's talking about blood clotting, or vitamin C is great for collagen. So you can remember that. But along with that, there's other things that happen with blueberries because it helps to protect against the degeneration of um, and cognitive decline. And remember, those people that are depressed or you stressed out, all of this little food, some blueberry smoothie can help. Don't overdo it because it can be quite sweet. So don't fill the entire um, blender up unless you're pouring it into something else and you're going to drink it in another day or two away. Okay. Also, the cruciferous vegetables like your broccoli, they work very, very good. They have also high levels of vitamin K, by the way. And then choline. Now, most people don't talk about choline a lot, but it can actually help to keep your memory sharp. So that's really important, and you can find it in cabbage and cauliflower and kale. But Brussels sprouts and broccoli is one of the best brain healthy foods out there. Additionally, cruciferous vegetables contain a number of phytonutrients. And remember, phyto means plant. So the nutrients that are in the plants help to protect the brain cells against oxidative stress. Okay. And that's another fancy way to say aging. Now I'm going to go through just PowerPoint. Let's go ahead and um, I want to I want to get on to I'm going to go back up here because we still are talking about some of the, again, the memory. Celery is high in antioxidants, just like we talked about. But there's another substance another nutrient, and they are called polysaccharides. Now, polysaccharides act as natural anti-inflammatories, and they can help alleviate symptoms related to inflammation. So when you talk about polysaccharides, keep that in mind. They act as that natural anti-inflammatories, and they can help alleviate the symptoms related to inflammation. Now, celery also contains the luteolin luteolin, luteolin. Now, luteolin is also an antioxidant that protects against the and being inflamed. It can also alleviate symptoms that's related to inflammation. And this, when you think about celery, I want you to think about the reduction of not only inflammation, but luteolin. It also helps you to reduce the brain inflammation, swelling, or the inflammation of the brain. So this is super important, and it's been also celery has been linked to cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases. Now, I want to go back to the luteolin. Luteolin may also support memory. On luteolin, just say that over until you get used to it, because luteolin is one of those things that aren't used a lot. You might see uh, uh, like protein lutein is lutein actually, and lutein is one of those. For some reason, it's very similar words, but they're not used a lot. So keep that luteolin in mind, and that may also support memory and learning by protecting your brain's cells from oxidative damage. Okay. All right. Um, I am going to, there's two more that I want you to keep in mind before we move on to the quality of sleep. And that is the coconut oil is another wonderful antioxidant, along with dark chocolate is another beautiful antioxidant that you can use to help to reduce the depression, misery, low spirits, that sadness and gloom that you might have. Some people have that every day, and some may not mean it. They're just actually going through something that they didn't even know that they're sick. That's why it's good to check with your different psychological experts, those people in psychology, psychologists, CBTs, which I am also a CBT, and that is cognitive behavior therapist. Okay, I'm going to go back to the wonderful care right now before we wrap it up.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. We have people who are always taking your expert advice. You have Denise that says, based on your expert advice, I eat fruit and have 16 ounces of water daily for breakfast.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, love it. Love, love, love it. Let's see here. Not your average Joe says celery, ginger root, and green apples is my go-to smoothie. Doc.
Oh man, I love that. Yeah, that sounds delicious, and it is. I'm a ginger fanatic. The active ingredients, or one of the active ingredients in ginger, is called gingerols. They're called gingerols. I got messed up on my is or are there, but the gingerol is very important, and I'm glad that Joe is bringing this out because ginger, keep that. There's things that you should have, and I am going to release my list. I have an emergency list of things that you can use right in your home. There are some things that you will have to just fill out for so that you can support us, and we're going to get those things to you. We got also have a really wonderful um, project that we're finishing up on that we're going to put in your hands real soon. Just look forward to it. I won't tell you too much about it, but I know that one thing about it is that it's going to help you like never before, especially those of you that are transitioning from eating one way to a healthier way. So, and that might be you vegetarian, you vegan, whatever that is, but we're going to show you how to transition to a plant-based lifestyle. I'm so excited about that.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I see myself. I'm frozen, but that's okay. Yolanda Rogers says, good morning. Our blessings, Big Mama from North Carolina right now. What up, though? Hey, what up, though?
What up, though? It's so good. Hey, I miss you. I got to give her a call. That's my fam there. So yeah, I gotta get in touch. I'm really glad that everybody's here today. We're gonna go ahead and go right to quality and deep sleep. And I wonder, did Mr. Gento come on today? I wonder, but I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Allison Gento and see if he's around today.
No,
But if
usually, he's probably at church with his dad.
oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah,
But
that's what
hello
it
to him.
is.
I'll let him know you said hello.
All right. Yes, and the entire Gentle family. That's If you talk about family, that's family right there. I want to also shout out to those of you that may not be in the chat, but you out listening. And I talked to my sister this morning, and she was saying, I was saying, so many people are telling me about they heard us, heard the show, and they loved it. And I said, I didn't see your name in the chat, and I didn't see their name. And she was saying, well, you know. Uh, Denise was telling me this, that it was because they're not in the chat, and I said, "Oh, okay." So
Right.
that was clearer to me there.
Yes, I got it because you asked about my dad. I got to shout out my mom. She said, "Good morning. I'm late, but I'm here."
All right, yeah, you
So
right
my
on
mom is
time. Yeah, you right on time. We were just giving you a shout out. So
here.
thank you so much for being here. So let's go right into this, Kara. We're going to talk about a little bit of the quality of deep sleep. Now, Kara, how do you sleep all the way through, or do you have interrupted sleep?
Oh, let me come on back. Well, sometimes it's been a little rough. I sometimes I sleep well, and there are other times when, for some reason, I'm just up or just kind of fidgety, not really getting deep rest or sleep like I should. So it's on and off. I had different nights, different things going on. So.
Okay. Well, one of the things I would like to suggest is eating, if you already, smaller meals before you go to bed. I think you're good with that because I remember we talked about this before. But
Mhm.
those of you that do have problems may not all be the same problem or the same challenge. A lot of times it can be your mind is really busy. The other is because if you start off working real early and you did not stop and take a break to rest, a lot of times that can take your circadian rhythm off, meaning that you will maybe go to sleep for a little while, but you're right back up. That's called insomnia. So, again, whenever you overdo it, look at your days. If you're working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., that's 12 hours out of your day. Okay. So you have to plan when you're going to be asleep and when you're going to be up because you can go through 15, 16 hours like that.
Mhm.
And it can really take you off your focus and you can overdo it with staying awake.
Right.
Sometimes when you overdo it and staying awake, you want more being awake. You want to, you can't go to sleep.
Mhm.
And then you have some situations where people are like, all right in there, that's when you get real sleepy, but you fight it. If you fight it, you got to go to sleep. And some people just like there's in the army. I remember this. I think it was one of the shows that were telling you about the guys that stay up overnight and how these long hours that they work, like in the people in the armed forces, and the caffeine. When caffeine doesn't work, they might even be taking drugs that will keep them awake. I don't know for sure about that, but I know that I've heard it more than once. So let's go ahead and go to deep sleep. Since we thought, and thank you for that, Care.
You're
All
welcome.
right. So we have, when it comes to deep sleep, we aim for about 7 to 9 hours. That's everybody on. Generally, a woman will sleep less time, or it requires less time than a man. Man is about 8 to 9 hours, but a woman is about 7 to 8 hours. Adequate sleep is essential for overall health. Physical health regulates the hormones. Also, it aids in muscle recovery. It helps with everything, regulation of bowel movement, urination. It is great with the processes in which our skin goes through in order to maintain the suppleness and our hair, the strength of our hair, our nails, all of that. And believe me, sleep is super important. So don't sleep on sleep. Other sleeping advantages or benefits performance and your productivity. It has a lot to do with whether or not you're sleeping. Long-term health, your sleep quality in itself, meaning that you're not interrupted with noises, or you're going to sleep reading your desktop or listening to. Some people go to sleep with nice music and low, and that works. But if you're going to sleep and you have something that makes you want to get up and dance, that may be an interruption. So sleeping is super important. But if you have a busy mind, you want to make sure that you slow it all down. So that's what I have for you for sleep. And let's get a little bonus in here today when it comes to the critical role of your environment. Now, the critical role of your environment is super important because giving love and reciprocating love is a super, super important thing. There's always work, and work, there's always work to do, but nothing, absolutely nothing like family. Those of you that have a family and you're able to embrace each other, and even if if I don't like, nobody don't ever a hug in our family, well, go to the ones that do. And people have more than one way to show love. Sometimes it might be just squeezing your hand, or it might be just saying something nice, or looking in your eyes, or things like that. So let's not get caught up on some of those very limited ways of thinking. When it comes to family, just staying close to one another, and again, enjoying each other's company, and looking at the God that's in them is the same God in you. Behavior, remembering some of the things that the little children do because they are hilarious. And shout out to little Kenyatta and little Kim over there, and uh, little Jay. All of them, they have fantastic parents, and I love children, and you should too. Uh, Lastly, when it comes to family, make sure that you're periodically making a phone call, or you're seeing each other. Don't let it be year after year after year after year. Let me tell you, it's so hard. And then, after a while, you feel like you just don't even know the person anymore. We used to be close, and we not, let's break that habit and embrace the habit of loving each other more. And remember that this is a critical role of nurturing environments. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. So glad that you all came in today. We got a lot done, went over a little bit, but we'll do that for you, of course. And we really appreciate you being here every Saturday at 8 a.m. We'll be here on YouTube. Sometimes might have a problem on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is. We keep going. We keep
Yes.
going. Don't worry about things that you don't have down yet, or you don't understand. I prize myself at making mistakes because that's how I learn. So if I make a mistake, I don't shun myself. I don't talk about myself in a very disrespectful way, like some people do. Oh man, you blah blah blah. But you don't do that to yourself. You say, "Hey, I am learning." So whatever it is, learn from it, and don't get caught up in what you can't do, but give your attention to where you are and all the blessings that you're receiving to be what you are. Care?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. And again, thank you to everyone that joined us here today in the Mind of Nature. Really do appreciate it. Take action on the information that you have heard today. Please make sure, if you came in late, go ahead and rewind. There were really great information throughout the entire show. If you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is Dr. Farid Zarif. Dr. Zarif, back to you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time. And remember, let's see our next workout. What is it?
It should be next Saturday. What's the date? Is it the 19th? I can't.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes, it is the 19th of July.
Okay. The 19th of July, everybody want to invite you out to 6614 Western Avenue, and we want you to come work out. Look, this is really not your last time because you can be somewhere later on, but why not get started now? Stop cheating yourself out of the best feeling that you ever had in your life. You don't want to be sick. You want to be healthy. You want to be fit. Come and work out with us. Work out with us. Work out with us. We'll help you even if you don't have any excuses. I don't have enough money. I don't have a car. I mean, you got time between now and then to get whatever you need to get your act together and get in that workout class so that you'll start. You know, the hardest way or the hardest thing about exercise is to get started. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.